Sir Jim Ratcliffe speaks on the recent ticket price increase at Old Trafford. The tickets went up from £40 to £66 for an adult, and the kids skyrocketed to that same amount. We've covered this in the past. Fans protesting. Jim Ratcliffe came out and addressed it. I do like the fact that, hey, ticket prices went up. Fans aren't happy. At least he's out speaking on the topic. He says, quote, "I understand that," meaning the fan frustration. "I don't want to be in a situation where the home fans can't afford to come, but I want to make the most money on ticket sales. You have to find a balance. You can't be popular all the time. Here we're talking about 3% of the tickets being affected by the increase." Quote, "I don't think it makes sense that a Manchester United ticket should cost more than a ticket to see Fulham. Cost less than a ticket to see Fulham," which is crazy. What do you make of these words? Lots to unpack here from Jim Ratcliffe. And a decent argument from the man.
I mean, he's always been thoughtful. Even when he came into the club right around a year ago, we always commented on, like, he's a thoughtful guy. He's a smart guy. This is always was coming, and I'm not trying to defend everything he's going to do, but it's about finding the balance, right? So I think on its surface level, it looked like a really big price increase. But like he said, this is not like for everyone. This is for a small subset of the population. Increases were always going to come, but it's about how you do it and how you find that balance. So I think a lot of the backlash is because people are really afraid that next year's season tickets are going to get jacked up.
Well, they will.
They will, but like, will it be 20% or will it be 40%? You know, because those are big differences. So people are fearing it because he's shown that, like, hey, in order to get us out of this hole, the only way we can do it is by making things a little bit less comfortable for all United fans. So he's right about the fact that he's going to have to be unpopular, because guess what? When you sell the naming rights to Old Trafford, one of the most famous stadiums in the world, some populations of the United fan base are going to be very unhappy with that decision. But you have to do it because that's just the reality of the game. That's the only way we're going to finance a brand new stadium. So you don't like it. It's kind of the heart and the head. It's like, you know, you get it, but it's going to piss people off, and you understand why.
Yeah, I mean, like, the key thing he addressed in the first sentence is, I don't want to be in a situation where fans can't afford to come. I mean, obviously, no brainer to say that, but he wants to make the most out of ticket sales. Makes sense. Just invested in this asset. It's broke. We're losing money. So, like, if Manchester United was making tons of money and the cash was flowing and we were increasing ticket prices, like, I think the argument is higher. We are losing money at the moment. The club is bleeding cash, not doing well thanks to the Glazers, #Glazers out. When he says the 3% of tickets, what he's talking about is the £66 for tickets. The increase hit the tickets that are available to just general membership, not season ticket holders. And so if you go on the United website and you want to buy tickets just for a random game, and this is kind of the price you're going to see. It used to be £40, now it's 66. The majority of fans have season tickets, like you and me, sir. Like, most of the tickets are actually spoken for, and those are much cheaper. So we prepay for the season ticket ahead of time. And so the only tickets that are affected is if certain fans who own season tickets can then open them up to resell, and then the club marks them up, basically, and that's what he's referring to. So only 3% of tickets really float at Manchester United, and therefore maybe, you know, I bet you there are some tickets available for Nottingham Forest, for example, but maybe a couple thousand out of the 77,000 available at Old Trafford. So it really is a small percentage where the increase hit. Now, that argument is going to work if he doesn't increase season tickets next year, which I know is coming. They'll increase them to maybe £50. And then people are really, you want to see real protesting? Increase the price of the season ticket by a huge factor. That will get people out and protesting at Old Trafford. That is going to come down the pipe, unfortunately. And the last point is the Manchester United ticket is cheaper than a Fulham ticket. I mean, that is valid. And people are saying, well, that's London. That's the London price versus, you know, I don't think you can argue against that. You know, Manchester United is a premier club, the top club in all of England, in my opinion, and the ticket should be a little more expensive. I think it does make sense. And ticketing is this really sensitive issue around fans and ownership. And no matter what you do, you're going to get some egg on your face. Ratcliffe is coming out and saying, I think, reasonable things. I think the increase was a little unreasonable. I think it was a little too much at once.
I think that was our kind of sentiment together, was that, like, yeah, it was always coming. The increase was always justified, but the degree of the increase was a big one to be your first kind of like statement to the fans around what you're doing on ticket prices. It makes sense. Ideally, people who have season tickets should pay a little bit less than people who are like buying them on an ad hoc basis. So hopefully he's somewhere in the middle. They should go up, but you're right. Like, even a $10 increase, fans are going to flip the shit. But at the same time, it's like, we can't be cheaper than a Fulham. And I get they just redid, a big part of their stadium, and it is in a posh part of London. It's not even like a West Ham. But it's Manchester fucking United. It's still the biggest club in the country and one of the biggest clubs in the world. So it's justified. I think it's about finding the balance. You're going to piss people off, but yeah, you're going to have to piss people off if we're going to get back from this. There's no other way unless you like get bought by a nation state. Like, we have to be able to make this club stand on its own 2 feet, make money in every facet of the game, even outside the game, in terms of like having non-football games at Old Trafford and us making a chunk of that. So that's what it's all about, dude. We got to monetize the fuck out of this thing, and it's going to be unpopular, but this is just the nature of the beast. If we want to compete with the cities and the Chelseas of the world, we got to do it.
No, change sucks, I think, is what it comes down to. You and me just know on the commercial side, given, the financial statements, like, hey, this is coming. I'm surprised it came as much this soon. Also, shout out to the fans protesting. They're all season ticket holders protesting, but they're protesting for the other fans purchasing the tickets. And there's a good push and pull here, and I hope they do something reasonable with season tickets, but it looks like this was an unreasonable price increase, and we're going to see an unreasonable season ticket price increase that's going to impact you and me next year. And they're going to knock down Old Trafford and build a new stadium. And you think the tickets are going to be cheaper going? I would honestly, our season ticket costs from like what it is now in the Stratford end at like £38 a game, I want to say. I would be surprised if it wasn't 80 or 90 in a new stadium. Like it's going to double or even more, because that, like, they're going to inherently price the new stadium cost into the ticket. Right now we're just talking about increasing tickets at Old Trafford. New stadium, it's by the time you get there, it's going to be, I think, completely different, and people are going to be like so upset about it. It's just this is all coming. I don't want it to happen, but it seems like this is gonna be the way it's gonna go.
No, you just kind of position a thought, which is like, yeah, by the time I sit down in our new seats in the new stadium in like 6-7 years, hopefully, they'll be double at least, right?
You'll have a cold beer in your hand. That beer will cost a lot of money.
But
and you'll have a burnt pie. And then at that point, everyone's gonna be like, "Remember the old days?
It was so
remember
great.
The old days?
Remember the piss on the floor? Remember the piss on the floor?
I miss the piss on the floor. I don't miss it. But let us know what you think about the ticketing situation. I'm glad at least Ratcliffe said something. That's a big departure from the Glazers being silent and increasing prices. Let us know in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, support the channel, support the America Red Devils, and we'll see you in the next video.